Hello, welcome to the episode of Motoring Middle East. Today we're checking out something really special. It's the Lamborghini Urus, the first ever super SUV. And what an SUV it is. 650 horsepower, 4-litre V8, twin turbo. Okay, it is basically an Audi RS Q8 underneath, but it's got an Italian body on top. It's built in Italy, so it is a real Lamborghini. Now the looks are kind of controversial, and at the beginning I was a little unsure myself, but to be honest, after having it for about a week, as it is always nice to have a Lamborghini for a week, it's actually grown on me, so I do quite like this car now, the way it looks. It is very comfortable, it's crushingly fast, and it is pretty expensive too. 1.1 million dirham starting price. This one, of course, with options. Don't ask. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. That's the way I'm going to look at it. 8-speed automatic, standard 4-wheel drive. It'll do a bit of desert if you want it to. No, you're not going to see it because I like, having a license and getting more Lamborghinis in the future. But I'm sure some influencer in the future will do it. So let's take a quick walk around. This is still a car. It is a Lamborghini, and I'm going to still review it like a car. So let's see what it's like. So as I said before, looks of the Urus always a bit subjective. I don't think it's as dramatic as some of the best cars like the Aventador and the Huracan and so on, but it's definitely very Lamborghini looking. You've got this kind of hexagon. Hexagons are a Lamborghini thing, so that's definitely why you see hexagons all over the car, and you also see it on the interior. Classic laser light style Lamborghinis. They're called Technica LEDs. Technical LED, that's all it really means. The wheels are massive. 23-inch wheels running Pirelli P0 blah blah blah, big fat tires basically. 285 55 or 35, 285 35 20s, 23s at the front. That's crazy big. Now this little triangle here is meant to remind you of the original Lamborghini 002, which was the first Lamborghini super SUV. And you know what? This is also a super SUV, but that one is more of an off-road monster, like a Wrangler with a big V8, V12 in that case engine. And this one is more like a road crusher. It's a SUV that does everything. The off-roading part I'm a little suspect, and I really don't have the insurance to try and push it to the limit, but on the road, we'll find out if it's a real Lamborghini. Really like how this haunches out. This makes it definitely look like a Lamborghini. You got this big bulging arches down here and this very, very small greenhouse. So all that really means is that you can't see much out the back. And if you come around to the back is the best feature actually. This looks so crisp and taut and tailored like a Lamborghini should. It's a very small glass, and what that means is you can't see jack out the back. You really can't. Revisibility depending on all the cameras. Oh, and you've got the diffusers down the back, which supposedly add downforce. I think they do. Man, this exhaust, by the way, I want to point out this exhaust. This is made by a Krapovic, and a Krapovic makes really nice aftermarket exhaust. So a Krapovic making exhaust for Lamborghini is quite cool. All right, practicality. Let's see what the boot's like. It's actually pretty quick. Reasonable boot, to be honest with you. You could get some luggage in there. This is the most practical Lamborghini literally ever made. You can get suitcases, luggage, and no dead bodies because it's not that big. There is no space underneath. There is just some spare tire gubbins, but that's it. No full-size spare. 23-inch wheel. You're gonna have to hope that you can find another one wherever the hell you end up. It's another reason why you shouldn't take this off-road, because 23-inch tires probably not common at your local tire shop. All right, let's see what the back seat's like. Back seat of the Lamborghini Urus, and I can't believe I'm in the back seat of a Lamborghini that's actually pretty decent. To be honest, there haven't been a whole lot of 4-seat Lamborghinis in life. Espada maybe? I'm trying to think. There weren't that many, maybe back in the 60s and 70s, but certainly none in the 80s. And this one, pretty good. I'm more of a 4-seater than a 5-seater. Definitely room for 4. You could get a 5th person in here. They're not your friend, or there's somebody that's going to get bumped off, because this is a very gangster car. We have got a center armrest. We've got 2 cup holders. There you go. Not too bad. We've got rear AC vents. We don't have USBs in a car this expensive. Oh, this is quite nice, quite knurled 12-volt lighters, but definitely no USB vents, no rear seat entertainment. Basically, this is for you and your friends to go skiing in. When you climb the mountain in wherever you go, Gstaad in Switzerland or whatever, this is the car that you take people there with all of their luggage and skis and so on. But you know what? If you're 6 foot something, you can fit in the back of an Urus. The actual seat is pretty comfortable. I mean, there's a little bit, I would like a bit more raised seat, but then it wouldn't be a sporty car. But it's actually pretty light and airy in here despite the exterior look. So yeah, you could do huge distances in this car, no question. To the front, let's see if the interior is as mad as a Lamborghini should be. Front of the Urus, And is it as crazy as a Lamborghini should be? Because I think Lamborghinis should be crazy. Lamborghinis are not cars that are shrinking violence. Ferraris are getting more sensible, and sadly, so are Lamborghinis. So this is very much an RS Q8 with a bit of lipstick on. So we've got the same dual screen here. You've got the main center screen that has hexagons, because that's how you know it's a Lamborghini and not an Audi. So everything's kind of reskinned. The main stuff happens up here. Your radio, media, telephone. Who's Abdullah? Navigation, blah blah blah. This is all so Audi, come on guys. And the Urus mode here. So Urus tells you Lamborghini Anima, which sets up the car. Strada Sport, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to you. I've forgotten about you. Vehicle information. Ooh, that's quite handy. Wrong color of the car, but okay. Seats, you can move everything. Oh, you can do this. I didn't even realize you could do this. I can come back to that later. AC, settings and service. Come on, car information. What have you got for car information? I'm just curious. Chassis number, handy. Don't clone this, Russian gangsters. And parking aids. It has, of course, all the obvious 360 cam stuff. Now, I wish this was switches and knobs. They're all touch sensitive, so I press this. This basically is your hazards, traction control off, blah blah blah. Don't turn off traction control on these cars. And then you have the lower screen, which basically controls climate. So everything is controllable down here. All your modes, etc., and that sets it up there as well. But anyway, all that matters is everything is down here. You set up the seats, individuals, fan speeds, the direction, so I can go really fast on this side, but I prefer it automatic. The AC is pretty good actually, AC max. You can also drop down here and then get a second display for things like radio. Parking steering allows you to set up parking, very light steering for parking. Information off turns off the tops. Oh, that turns on your heads-up display, which has everything, of course. Now if you look down here, this is the only other real button. It's for volume and switching songs, which is handy that you give it to you. And now if you pull back, the piece de resistance is this thing right here, the Anima toggle. So if you press this, or rather pull on this, it switches between 6 different modes. So Strada is street, Sport is the sport mode for spirited driving, Corsa is for track, very aggressive. You can hear the exhaust actually change note outside. Sabia is sand, so that winds the traction control right back, right back, raises the car and makes it ready for some high-speed sand driving. I am not going to be testing that because again, insurance probably won't cover the damage it's going to naturally ensue. Terra is for off-road, so gravel, stuff like that, so slightly more slower technical off-roading. Again, who the hell is going to off-road an Urus? And Neve, I'm pronouncing it, I'm not butchering the Italian language. This is snow. So when you start the car, you flip this up, press this button, that starts the car. This is your park. You may be wondering, where's the gear stick? Well, this is the gear stick. You pull this, and this goes into reverse. You pull it again, it goes into drive. You pull it again, it goes into drive, he says. I have no idea. Or if you pull the both paddles, it goes in neutral. And then you pull the paddle to get into drive. So, put it back into park so you don't drive away. This is the ego mode. So it allows you to individually set up your mode. So this sets up the drivetrain. So regular speed, kind of lazy, medium, which is crazy, and then Corsa mode, which is full on, full exhaust, everything. It's too aggressive for street, to be honest with you. This is nice. So you get to pull, if you pull this lever, by the way, it automatically toggles whatever you have set up here. This allows you to select within different levels of steering. So you can have a low effort steering for parking, a medium effort for spirited driving, and then a high effort. I actually like the high effort. That's kind of the nicest one. And then you have the shock settings. So you can go medium, soft, and hard. Actually, I think soft is probably the best compromise all around. If you come down here, you've got parking camera, parking brake, automatic, everything, pretty much all the usual stuff down here. There isn't a lot of space to keep phones and things, so this can basically take an iPhone 10, and that's really about it. Most big phones won't fit here at all. Up here with the central display screen, so if you hear it, yeah, it's very quiet because I don't want to be antisocial, but yeah, all your main screens down here, typical Audi new camera type things. You can basically change your cockpit modes and so on. Lots and lots of information to the point that you go slightly mad. It is a lot of stuff, but it is a good, easy steering wheel to control and hold. Driving position, excellent, absolutely excellent. Nothing to complain about, plenty of grip, etc. Can't complain at all. And everything is logically, Germanically laid out. If anything, it's a bit sad because I'm kind of hoping for something a little bit more surprise and delight. But no, apart from the Italian writing on the Anima toggle, which by the way, come back down here a second. This only toggles one way. So what if you're in Strada mode and you want to go Sport, Corsa, and you okay, I want to go back to street mode. This doesn't go forward, so you got to go all the way through the switches to get back to Strada. It's a little thing, but it's an annoying thing. How hard would it have been to make the switch go the other way? I'm sure it costs 100 million euros to re-engineer the switch. Up here you've got your stuff. I don't know what that does. Hope it doesn't call the police. That controls your sunroof and sunshade and all that, and you got light switches and things. So overall, pretty straightforward. This is by far one of the most usable Lamborghinis I've ever seen. It's a Lamborghini that has zero compromises. Will that pay off dividends on the high-speed section? But that's what I'm going to do next. I mean, off-road, I've done a little light off-roading. It'll do beaches and sand, that sort of thing. It'll do it. It's not going to do dunes without damage. It will do it, but you have to be a little bit wealthier than I am to risk damaging these bumpers. But let's see if it's like a good Lamborghini, even a great Lamborghini on the high-speed section. And that's what we're going to do next. So what's the Urus like to drive? Well, I'm going to be in Strada mode first to show you what it's like normally. And this is the mode it's going to be in most of the time. It's pretty quick, 650 horsepower. Lots of good response from the engine. It's a little laggy in this speed. It's torquey for sure. But it's definitely, you don't quite, feel that punch. I mean, you feel the torque, mountain of torque, absolute mountain of torque. But it doesn't feel like 650 horsepower, it just feels like good 500. It's quick, it's very quick, but you have to really deep into the throttle. It's by design. They don't want you to kill yourself because this thing is really quick. So let's amp it up a bit now into sport. Oh, immediately the engine tone changes, becomes deeper, chestier. It's basically gone up a couple of cup sizes. Now it's getting into Russian nightclub owner sort of style. I'm leaving automatic just to see how good the 8-speed is. It is of course the famous ZF 8-speed. Suddenly you have tons of good steering feel. Ride is still excellent. I'm not going to run over these labourers, but they are sitting on the side of the road, which is quite careful. Be careful. Makes a lovely noise. Very quick car. Very quick car. Brakes. The brakes are too sharp at slow speed and a little soft at high speed. I don't know if this car's been what it's been through, but it's a very quick car, but you feel the weight. I've driven Lotuses through here, I've driven supercars. This car feels heavy, but it's also completely destroying the laws of physics here. It's a way quicker. Just destroyed a car going uphill, and it is quick car. How quick? Very quick. Bloody hell. Quicker than I want to be driving on a public road, but very quick car. And you can feel the mass being pulled around the corner. Steering better now. Obviously it's woken up. Very stiff ride all of a sudden. Now going to full sportive mode. Engine response very good. Do I miss a V10 or a V12? A little bit. I like that high rev dial. This is much more chesty. This is much more like, look at me. I miss that kind of screamy Lamborghini, but you can't argue the performance. It's very fast. In a full Corsa, everything changes once again. It becomes massive gear shifter. It's so loud. Whoa. I like it actually. It's kind of nice. I mean, it does what it says on the tin. It's a very fast car. I'm not crazy about the brakes and the steering. Well, there isn't a lot of feedback coming back, but it is very accurate, so you can really push it pretty hard. But it's amazing how quick this car is. Have I already finished it? Whew. I mean, this is the bit. Let me put it back into Strada. Let's drive it sensibly for a second. It's amazing how quick this thing is. It took me about 5 minutes to do that section, and coming back it's done maybe about 2 minutes. I don't want to see how fast I've been going, but it's been quick. It's definitely a quick car. Very quick car. Do I enjoy driving it? You know what? I think I'm more intimidated by it than anything else. It crushes the road. I've never seen a car which just demolishes a road the way this Urus does. I mean there are faster cars, but the way it just sort of takes physics by the scruff of the neck and just chucks it away, it's something to see, that's for sure. But I don't know if it's fun. It's just hold on, hope for the best. I mean, when you put it into full active differential mode, it's a sight to see. It basically it twists. It's amazing. It just goes around this corner really well. Really fast. Like I've driven the same speed in the Lotus XH, and this is about the same as a Lotus XH. A Lotus. But my God, you got to be on your game because it's it's such a weapon. It's kind of the best of all worlds. It can do a little bit of off-road. It can take your family. It can also smother you and make you cry a little bit. Very very fast car. Oh, you can feel the back end start to move around on the differential. Nice, nice, very nice. Sorry, Urus is so weapons grade fast, it actually ripped the camera off its mountings. Man, beast mode of a car. This is just beast mode, the car. I'll tell you one thing though, super SUV, they aren't kidding. This could actually do track stuff. Super SUV, absolute monster. And you know what? It does come to life. I mean, it's a bit sterile around town, but wowzers. It just... I've run out of words to say about it. I'm just completely knocked aback. So things I like, the performance, definitely. The driving is pretty good, pretty good. Then downside is, again, like all supercars, you have to be going really fast to feel that difference. And I don't know if most people ever drive it that hard. Around town it may not impress you, but if you really, really push it, it becomes alive. It becomes a real Lamborghini. But boy, oh boy, you need to be going really fast. I think the people who buy it are going to be very happy with it. I think people looking for like a Lamborghini super sports car will be best served by something like a Huracan or a Aventador. But that's by design. This is the Lamborghini for people who need something more practical. And it is more practical. Boy. It's given me a bit of a kick in the kidneys, this thing. I know it may not seem that fast, but the way it's gone. It's like a transformer. You come back into the parking lot. It's like, well... completely normal. Yeah, Urus, real Lamborghini. Yeah, really violent, really quick. Let me never do that again. But if you do buy this, please drive it quickly. And on that bombshell, park mode. Thanks for watching. Motoring Middle East, Instagram, YouTube, blah blah blah. Stay tuned. What should we drive next? That's fast. Maybe something with an Huracan in the name. Who knows? See you next time.